Yeah, so GM guys, in today's tutorial, we're going to be talking about how you can create, you can mint and deploy your own NFT on Solana. So let's get into it. So for the most important information that you guys need to know whenever you're deploying like a NFT on Solana, just think about it like a token, right? But it is a different type of token. It's a non-fungible token, right? So um if we check this documentation, right, you'll be able to get the document link to this documentation somewhere around this video, right? So it is a token metadata program, fundamental program when dealing with NFT, blah blah blah, when dealing with any tokens, any assets on Solana blockchain, right? So how it pretty much works is that um your wallet, this is anybody's wallet, right, can stores the number of tokens owned by the wallet, right? So every wallet has like a token account that holds a if like every wallet has a token account that holds information of other tokens. Like if you have USDC in your wallet, right, that USDC that is in your wallet is in a different account from maybe Solana that is in your wallet. Both of them are like in a different account. Those two different accounts are like the token accounts, right? But then there's a mint account that separates, makes USDC a different asset from like Solana. So it says it achieves this using PDAs that are derived from the address of Mint account. So Mint accounts are responsible for storing the global information of a token. Blah, blah, blah. So you should definitely check this out, right? Definitely check this out. Um, this one is just, it just shows us what Metaplex in tech, right? So basically, before before Metaplex created this token metadata account, right? Mint accounts, probably NFTs were just NFTs, but they were like not very usable by apps. But then with this metadata account, which is like a PDA that connects to the like the token program, right? NFTs now have more use cases, right? So this is a very very important documentation that like you definitely check out if you are creating NFTs, right? So as usual, there's like this UI that we can follow along, right? So you can clone this. When you run the code, it should look like this, right? At the end of this video, we should have something that looks like this. So you can, we're just going to clone this UI, right? Clone it, open it in code, and yeah, let's get started. Now open that in code. Another thing I want to do is SCRCPY as we usually do, so you can like see my I'm also going to run a pub get to get our dependencies, right? And so now we can even run the app because we have a lot more speed on the Mac. So yeah, we have cloned this repository. If you want to code along, you should also clone it. The link to this repository is going to be somewhere around this video. All right, so in this implementation, we're going to be doing it a little bit different from how they do theirs at Tobin or other Web3 um, educational systems, right? So here we're going to use a bit of UI, right? So the process of deploying an NFT on chain is kind of like you have a picture you want to deploy. Let's say something like this, right? This is my picture, and then upload that picture to a you upload that picture to a decentralized storage, let's say Pinata or IRYS or IPFS, right? Or Aweave. Then you create a JSON file, right? That's like the metadata of what we have seen here, right? We'll create that JSON file, JSON standard, right? So you create the JSON file. So our code is already running, right? Build, deploying. Create the JSON file that has all of these fields, right? We can very modifiable, something like this, and we're going to deploy that JSON to a decentralized storage. In our case, this storage we're using is Pinata, right? So when you deploy that, then you can mint your NFT, and then you can like um after you mint your NFT, that's the PDA, then you can like deploy your NFT, right? So for us, we're using Pinata, so you can create an account. They allow you to like um they are going to allow us to like deploy our NFTs. Now you can do this programmatically, right? You can do this programmatically using as a Flutter dev, right? Coming from Flutter perspective, you can do this programmatically with this package. So I have definitely used this package before, right? Yeah. So yeah, use the Pinata package. Use your API key, right? Yeah. Or how we're just going to do it to make things a lot faster for us, right? We're going to use we're just going to use and we're just going to upload it ourselves, right? We're going to upload the image ourselves, then upload the JSON ourselves. But everything you need is in this repository, right? So I think what we're going to do first is to upload the image, then upload the metadata, then you can start programming, right? So example of metadata we're going to need, right? So let's get into uploading the image. Just gonna look for a nice image here. So this is what I want to upload. I'm gonna press add file upload. Right, so recent thumbnail. This is what we're uploading. Public. So yeah. Why is it taking so long? Just barely a byte. Barely a megabyte. So when we're going to come back to that, right? So yeah, for the name of the NFT we're going to be doing here. Let's do Flutter on Solana series. Right, you can name it anything you want. This is just a JSON file, so it's gonna be FSS, or let's do it as that, because my first inspired by Flutter framework. That's nice. A nice description. So our image, we're going to replace this by a CID of the uploaded image. Right, certificate. Did not upload. Yeah. So this is the CID, right? We're going to come here and replace this whole thing here with that. So if you want to see our image on chain, right? I'm going to check that out here. We should load up and return our image, right? So next thing we want to do is to next thing we want to do is, I think these two are the same links. Both of them were the same. So we're going to do this too. Next thing we want to do is to upload this example JSON. Right, so these are image on the decentralized storage. Right, we want to upload this JSON to this place here. Right, file upload. So go from Mint NFT UI This thing is somewhere around. Yeah, this is what we're uploading. CID. I'm going to delete this. Oh, oh, we tried to upload the wrong thing. So what we should upload from is Mint NFT, not this. This is like, I think this is the practice, or this is the raw. Yeah, this is what I used to practice. Um, it should be different. Right, Mint NFT. So you want to see that out, so we're just going to replace this here with our CID. Yeah, so this is a different CID. Right, so my first, exactly. So now we can get started programming. I mean that just calls the NFT main screen. After we work on our service file, we can work on the main screen. So most of what we need is already here, right? Most of what we need is already here. We can just get started working on the. All right. Another thing you need to know. Another thing you should have is another thing you should have is your private key, right? So you are going to need to, yeah, you're going to need to import your private key as a list of int to your to this file private key.dat. You're going to create something like this, right? Put it as a static const, right? So yeah, that's pretty much it. um right, so even if you see the private key, right, I mean it's just a test wallet. So this is just better because we don't need to every time be um using mobile wallet adapter and signing with wallets. Yeah, we can just sign directly in the code and know we're out of here. All right, so yeah, let's start with the service. The first thing we want to work on is Mint NFT. As you can see, nothing has been done here yet. So first thing we want to work on is Mint NFT. First we want to ensure that our wallet is there is actually a wallet, right? Ensure that there is actually a wallet. um Next thing we want to do is to create a Mint account. All right, just how we said. We're gonna come back to that. So next we want to create a token account and then Mint. So just so we can like debug better. Next thing we want to do is to create metadata. Then we want to create the master edition. So this just makes it a lot easier for us. Although we're going to work on these functions differently, right? But yeah. Now something that we're going to need later. I want to return the mint address. So I'll return it as a string. Alright, so let's work on create mint. So from the last video, you should know that like NFTs usually have zero decimals, right? Because it's not fungible. It's like one NFT doesn't have like two alternatives. But here we want to add more stuff. Why do we have that? Right. So I want to return the mint. Else we're going to throw an exception. Next thing we want to work on is minting the token. So we can use this because we're sure that like the wallet the wallet is not null because I've ensured it is initialized. So here we should be able to add commitment. And then we can try to mint it to our wallet. So this associated token account is like the token account we already talked about where Solana can be different from USDC. So this one will be for like the NFT itself in our wallet. I want to mint one to our wallet. Authority. So if you're curious what commitment is about how long to before our code concludes that oh this has been done. Let's check it out. Blah, 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 blah. If we should conclude that oh this is done after it has been processed or after it has been confirmed or after it has been finalized. It's about validators and yeah, that's what it's about. It's about how many validators has voted on like on the transaction. So about that's pretty much about it. So if that doesn't work, let's just try an exception. Say failed to mint token. Next thing we want to work on is creating the metadata. So again, we're going to use a try catch block, right? This is what I'm putting into like this account, this function rather. So now takes in a list of key pair. So it should work like this. So it needs to be in a list, I guess. And commitments, as I've always been using, says take like the least time to confirm our transaction on chain. So if it doesn't, then we're going to like, oops, we're going to throw an exception. Say failed to, then the error. Yes, that's pretty much it. Then for lastly, we're going to create master edition. So if you're curious about all of this metadata, master edition, just check out the documentation, right? You have to create this master edition data. Yeah, to avoid this error, we should have created a master data edition. Yeah, this is what we should have done. Mint confirmed. So yeah, I believe that with this NFT mint service is ready, and we can just try to plug it into our UI. Yeah, that's a lot better instead of just turning an empty string, right? So let's go into our UI. So in our UI, I believe that everything is just as is, right? So this makes it a lot better now that I mean the implementation makes it a lot better like this, right? So just a double standard. I don't think right. So there are changes, the actual changes that we're going to make. So we're going to start editing from here. Yeah, so this is where we're going to enter details of our NFT, right? Description should be a description controller. Symbol. We're going to enter the symbol ourselves, right? Metadata URI. It's going to be the link to this guy over here. I mean, now that should work, but let's just have more states so that we can be more reactive, right? Now we're actually getting to the end of this series. We should have like better quality apps than just focusing on logic. You know, we can touch the UI a bit because it's looking like it's not. It's looking like the button is not even active. Right, so on press, I want to say if it's loading, will nothing happens. But if it is not loading, we can mint the NFT. Basically returning this containerable like with more content. I want to show the error message. And yeah, it should be in red too. Something like this too. Then is if mint address is not known. So we can see NFT minted successfully. Change the colors from red to green. I want to add another text. Then we'll have to make this like a column. Wrap it in a column. And obviously, the mint address is going to be here. So let's check it out. So we're gonna call this Flutter on Solana. Description. Some generated description here. I was going to clear the logs, but where is that from? Main screen. What? Ouch. Should have removed that. Let's try that again. The chance to clear the logs this time. Okay, so let's go. So this is our wallet here. That's our wallet public address. It's taking its time to. Alright, so it said of successfully minted the NFT. To see our NFT, just go to your Solana Explorer. For me, I like to use SoulScan. Make sure you're on DevNet, right? Because we minted on DevNet. And you need them. You need to make sure you have. Sorry, that means twice. Interesting. So you need to make sure you have. You need to make sure you have Solana on faucet to mint the NFT. And yeah, as you can see here, our NFT is minted, and if you give it some time, we'll be able to see the image over here too. This is our wallet. Let's just check our wallet. So I'll reload this. Yeah, so the image is there already, and as you can see, these are like the processes we used to create the NFT. Yeah, so thank you guys for joining this video. See you guys in the next one.